Imagine hiking deep into the mountains with everything you need packed onto your back. You've already climbed thousands of feet. Your legs are tired, the weather is changing, and you still haven't even found the animal you came for. Then, after hours of glassing, you finally spot a sheep. But the hunt isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning. Sheep hunting is often considered one of the most demanding types of big game hunting in North America. But what makes it difficult? Is it the mountains, the weather, the physical challenge, or simply finding them in the first place? The answer is all of them. And when you put everything together, you get one of the most challenging hunting experiences there is. The first problem with sheep hunting is pretty simple. Sheep don't exactly choose the easy places to live. Species like Dall sheep, stone sheep, desert bighorn sheep, Rocky Mountain sheep are all found in rugged mountain environments where steep slopes, cliffs, and huge elevation changes are normal. Instead of walking through flat fields or forests, hunters spend their days climbing through extremely steep country. And the mountains can look completely different from one valley to the next. A slope that looks relatively easy from a distance can turn into a long, exhausting climb once you're actually on it. And that's before you even find a sheep. For many sheep hunts, simply reaching good sheep country can be a challenge. Some areas are extremely remote, meaning roads and easy access may be miles away. Hunters may hike hours just to reach a good glassing location, and everything you need has to come with you: food, water, clothing, optics, camping equipment, and hunting gear. The farther you get into the mountains, the more important every pound becomes. Because carrying a heavy pack uphill is a completely different experience from carrying on flat ground. And the difficult part doesn't necessarily end when you reach your destination. You might spend days moving from ridge to ridge, climbing and descending while searching for sheep. In other words, the hunt can be physically demanding before you even had an opportunity. But here's one of the biggest challenges. You actually have to find the sheep. That sounds easier than it is. Sheep can blend incredibly well into rocky mountain terrain. From far away, an entire mountainside can look completely empty. But with a spotting scope, a hunter might suddenly notice a tiny patch of white or minimal movement. That's why glassing is such a huge part of sheep hunting. Hunters can spend hours sitting behind optics, slowly searching mountainsides and cliffs. And even when you find sheep, you still have to figure out exactly what you're looking at. Is it a ram? How big is it? Is it legal? How far away is it? And most importantly, can you actually reach it? A sheep might be visible from your glassing spot, but separated from you by an enormous amount of terrain. Then there's the physical side of the hunt. Sheep hunting can involve a tremendous amount of climbing. You're constantly gaining and losing elevation. And unlike hiking on a flat trail, steep terrain can make every step more difficult. At higher elevations, the air contains less oxygen than it does at sea level. And then there's the pack. A hunter might start the day carrying everything they need, but if they successfully harvest an animal, the amount of work isn't suddenly finished. Now comes the pack out. Getting the animal and the gear back through that same rugged country can be one of the hardest parts of the entire hunt. You aren't just hiking back to the truck. You're moving through steep, remote terrain with additional weight. That's one reason sheep hunting requires so much preparation. So, if sheep hunting is this difficult, why do people keep coming back? Because it's much more than simply harvesting an animal. It's about the mountains, the preparation, it's about pushing yourself through terrain that most people will never experience, and it's about finally seeing a sheep after days of searching for one. Every part of the hunt has a purpose. The long hikes, the glassing, the cold mornings, the steep climbs, the planning, the patience. And when all of that finally comes together, the experience can be incredibly rewarding. Sheep hunting isn't brutal because of one thing. It's brutal because everything stacks together. The terrain, the elevation, the weather, the distance, the physical effort, finding the animal, and then getting back out. That's what separates sheep hunting from an ordinary trip in the woods. You aren't just hunting the animal. You're hunting the environment that the animal has adapted to survive in. And maybe that's exactly why sheep hunting has such a reputation. Because when you finally stand on a mountain looking at the sheep you've spent all that time searching for, you know you don't get there easily. You earned the opportunity. And that's what makes sheep hunting so brutal.